Hello, everyone.
Welcome to Spoken English Podcast.
Sam, can I tell you about the strangest text message I got yesterday?
Please, I'm always here for a good text message story.
My aunt asked me, "How was your day?" And I just sat there, staring at my phone for like a full minute.
Why? That's such a simple question.
I know, but my day was so ordinary, I didn't know how to describe it. I woke up, I worked, I ate lunch, I watched TV. Nothing exciting happened at all.
So you just typed, "It was fine."
Exactly that. It was fine. 3 words for an entire day of my life.
Honestly, I think that happens to most of us. Most days aren't dramatic enough for a movie script, but they're still worth talking about.
That's exactly what got me thinking. We don't need exciting days to have interesting conversations. We just need better language for our ordinary ones.
So today, that's the plan.
Yes, how to talk about your day in English, even the boring parts, in a way that actually sounds natural and complete.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Spoken English Podcast, your friendly place to learn real, everyday English through natural conversation.
I'm Mira.
And I'm Sam, and today we're focusing on one of the most common questions in the English language. How was your day?
It sounds simple, but so many learners either say too little, it was good, or get stuck trying to describe every single detail from the moment they woke up.
This episode is perfect for A1 to A2 learners, so if you're just starting out, don't worry, we'll keep everything clear and easy to follow.
Later, we'll slow down for our word tour, useful words and phrases for describing your day.
And near the end, in Say It Better, we'll take some basic sentences and upgrade them so they sound smoother and more natural.
So relax and let's talk about your day.
Mira, let's start from the very beginning. What's a simple, natural way to talk about your morning?
The easiest structure is just describing your routine in order. I woke up around 7 and I had breakfast before work.
That's such a clean, simple sentence.
It really is, and you can build on it easily. I woke up around 7, made some coffee, and got ready for work.
I like how "got ready" covers so many small actions at once without needing to list every single one.
Exactly. That's such a useful phrase for mornings. Instead of saying, I brushed my teeth, I put on my clothes, I combed my hair, you can just say, I got ready.
That saves so much time and sounds much more natural.
It does. And if your morning was a little rushed, you could say, I woke up late, so I had to rush to get ready.
Rush. That word really captures that morning panic feeling.
It does. We've all had those mornings.
What about talking about work or school? A lot of learners just say, I went to work, and stop there.
That's true, and it's not wrong, but it doesn't give the listener much to respond to. A better approach is adding one small detail. I went to work, and it was busier than usual.
That opens the conversation a little more.
Exactly, because now the other person can ask, oh, really, what happened? It creates a natural back and forth instead of a dead end.
What if work or school was actually calm and uneventful?
Then you can say, it was a pretty normal day at work, nothing special. That's a completely honest, natural sentence, and it's perfectly fine to say.
I think a lot of learners feel pressure to make every day sound interesting, when really most days are just normal.
Exactly, and that's such an important thing to remember. Normal is a valid answer. English doesn't require every sentence to be exciting.
You could say, it was a pretty normal day, or nothing special happened today, just the usual routine.
Perfect examples for those quiet, ordinary days.
Let's talk about talking about lunch or meals, because that's such a common part of daily conversation too.
It really is. A simple way to mention it is, I grabbed lunch with a coworker, or I had lunch at home today.
Grabbed lunch. That sounds so casual and natural.
It is, and it works really well for quick, informal meals. I just grabbed something quick between meetings.
That gives a small sense of how busy or relaxed your day was, just from one phrase.
Exactly. Small details like that add so much color to a simple description.
What about talking about how your day felt, not just what you did, like the overall mood of the day?
That's such an important layer. You could say, today felt really long, or today actually flew by. Both describe time, but in opposite ways.
Flew by. I love that expression.
It's such a natural way to say time passed quickly. The afternoon flew by because I was so busy.
And if the day dragged on instead?
Then you could say, today dragged on forever, or this afternoon felt so slow. Dragged on really captures that feeling of time moving painfully slowly.
You could say, my day flew by today, or today really dragged on. I don't know why.
Great examples for describing the feeling of time, not just the events.
Let's pause here for a moment. If you're enjoying this episode so far, please take a second to like this video, and if you haven't already, subscribe to Spoken English Podcast.
And we'd love to hear from you in the comments. Tell us, how was your day today? Try describing it in 1 or 2 English sentences. We really do read your comments, so don't be shy.
All right, let's continue. Mira, what about describing your energy level throughout the day, like feeling tired or feeling productive?
Oh, this comes up constantly in daily conversation. You could say, I was exhausted by the afternoon, or I felt really productive this morning.
Productive. That's such a useful word for describing a good, focused day.
It really is. I got a lot done today. I felt so productive. It sounds much more natural than just saying, I worked a lot.
And on the opposite end, for a tired or low energy day?
You could say, I was dragging by the end of the day, or simply, I'm running on empty today.
Running on empty. That phrase is so visual, like a car with no fuel left.
Exactly. And it's such a relatable way to describe exhaustion without sounding too dramatic.
You could say, I felt pretty productive this morning. Or, by the evening, I was running on empty.
Those 2 phrases cover almost every kind of day, honestly.
Let's talk about small interruptions, because I feel like every day has at least one unexpected moment, even a boring day.
Absolutely. And there's a great phrase for that. Something came up. You could say, I was about to leave, but something came up at work.
That phrase is so flexible, it can describe almost any small surprise.
Exactly. It works for good surprises and annoying ones. Something came up, so I had to reschedule my plans.
I think that's such a natural way to explain a change of plans without going into a long explanation.
Right. Sometimes you don't need to explain every detail. Just acknowledging that something happened is enough.
What about the evening? How do people usually wrap up a description of their day?
A simple, natural way is talking about how you relaxed or ended the day. In the evening, I just watched some TV and relaxed. Or, I had a quiet evening at home.
Quiet evening. That phrase always sounds so peaceful.
It does. And it works well even if your day was busier earlier. It shows contrast, a busy day that ended calmly.
You could say, I had a quiet evening after a busy day. Or, I just relaxed and watched something before bed.
Perfect way to close out a daily description.
Let's talk about weekends specifically, because I feel like the vocabulary shifts a little there. It's less about work, more about free time.
True. Weekends often center around rest or activities. You could say, I slept in this morning, which means waking up later than usual on purpose.
Slept in. That's such a satisfying phrase to say on a weekend.
It really is. Or if you did something active, you could say, I spent the day running errands, meaning small tasks like shopping or appointments.
Running errands. That phrase covers so many small tasks at once.
Exactly. Instead of listing groceries, bank, post office separately, you just say, I ran a few errands today.
You could say, I slept in and then ran a few errands. Or I just relaxed and watched something before bed.
Perfect way to close out a daily description.
Let's talk about days that had a mix of good and bad moments, because most days aren't completely one or the other.
That's such a realistic point. You could say, it had its ups and downs, meaning some good parts and some difficult parts mixed together.
Ups and downs. I really like that phrase. It feels very honest.
It is, and it's such a natural way to summarize a complicated day without going into every detail. Today had its ups and downs, but overall, it was okay.
That phrase alone tells a whole story, honestly.
Exactly. Sometimes the simplest phrases carry the most emotional truth.
Let's talk about something a little different. How someone can respond when the other person asks a follow-up question, like, oh really, what happened?
That's such an important part of natural conversation, because a description of your day usually leads to more questions. You could say, Well, basically, and then give a short summary. Well, basically, my meeting ran late, so my whole afternoon got pushed back.
Ran late and pushed back. Those two phrases work so well together for describing schedule changes.
They really do, and they're extremely common in daily English, especially at work.
You could say, my meeting ran late today, or my plans got pushed back because of that.
Such useful, everyday phrases.
Let's bring this all together, Mira. If someone only remembers one thing from today's episode, what should it be?
I think it's this. You don't need an exciting day to have a good conversation in English. Ordinary days deserve natural language too, and small phrases like got ready, ran errands, or had its ups and downs can turn a boring day into a completely normal, easy conversation.
That's such a comforting thought because most days really are just ordinary.
Exactly. And that's perfectly fine. Daily English isn't about sounding impressive, it's about sounding natural.
All right, let's slow down now and go through today's word tour. Useful words and phrases for describing your day.
Let's begin with our first phrase, got ready.
Got ready. Got ready.
This phrase covers all your morning preparation, like washing up and getting dressed, without listing each action.
You could say, I got ready quickly this morning, or it took me a while to get ready today.
Nice examples. Let's move to our second phrase, flew by.
Flew by. Flew by.
This means time passed very quickly, often because you were busy or enjoying yourself.
You could say, my afternoon flew by today, or the weekend really flew by this time.
Our third phrase is running on empty.
Running on empty. Running on empty.
This describes feeling extremely tired with almost no energy left.
For example, I'm running on empty after that long meeting. Or by Friday, I'm always running on empty.
Phrase number 4, something came up.
Something came up. Something came up.
This is a flexible phrase for describing an unexpected event or change in plans.
You could say, something came up, so I had to leave early. Or, sorry I'm late, something came up at home.
Our fifth phrase is ran errands.
Ran errands. Ran errands.
This describes doing several small tasks like shopping or appointments without naming each one.
For example, I ran a few errands this morning, or I spent my Saturday running errands.
And our final phrase today is ups and downs.
Ups and downs. Ups and downs.
This phrase describes a day or period of time with both good and difficult moments mixed together.
You could say, today had its ups and downs, or this week has been full of ups and downs.
So today's phrases were got ready, flew by, running on empty, something came up, ran errands, and ups and downs.
Try picking just one or two of these and using them the next time someone asks how your day was.
Now, let's move to one of my favorite parts, say it better. We'll take a few simple sentences and make them sound smoother and more natural.
Let's start with this one. A learner might say, I wake up, I eat, I go work.
That's clear, but a smoother, more natural way to say it is, I woke up, had breakfast, and got ready for work.
Much more complete. Here's another one. Today is very busy for me.
We can smooth that into today was really busy for me. I barely had time to sit down.
That flows so much better. Next sentence. I am very tired now.
A more natural version would be I'm running on empty right now.
I love that upgrade. It adds so much personality. One more. My day was normal. Nothing happened.
You could smooth that out into it was a pretty normal day, just the usual routine.
These small changes really do make a big difference in how natural and complete your English sounds.
Absolutely. It's not about using harder words. It's about giving your ordinary day a little more shape and detail.
So today we talked about how to describe your day in English, from your morning routine to work, meals, energy levels, small interruptions, evenings, weekends, and even those mixed, unpredictable days.
And I hope this episode reminded you that even the most ordinary day is worth talking about in simple, natural English.
Maybe next time my aunt texts me, I'll actually have something to say.
More than 3 words, hopefully.
Exactly that. If this episode helped you, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to Spoken English Podcast so you never miss a new lesson.
And we genuinely love to hear from you. Tell us in the comments, how was your day today? Try using one of today's phrases.
Also, if you know someone learning English, please share this episode with them. It's such a practical, everyday topic.
Thank you so much for spending this time with us. Take care of your English and take care of your day, too.
This is Sam.
And this is Mira.
And you've been listening to Spoken English Podcast. Bye for now.
Take care, everyone. See you in the next episode.